Hey family, we are live, broadcasting live. This is the Conversation Room 101. Make sure it's only adults in the house. I need your mind to be open, prepared, and relaxed. Welcome to our home. Take your shoes off. We got some rules we need to go over. Be kind. No cursing in the chat. If you want to curse, call in. And no shouting out other channels. That's a no-no. We got one other rule. There is no judging our guests. It will not be permitted. Zero tolerance. And if so, you want to do that, guess what? We got security. And we will escort you out. Because over here, hashtag we don't care. We're going to be one big family. We're going to laugh together sometimes. We're going to cry. But we definitely going to pray. I thank the Lord above for everything. I lift him up and give him the glory. But you guys, right now we're going to get our popcorn and then we're going to see what's going on. And let me just park my car and I'll be in there in a minute. I'll see you real soon.
The Copyright Disclaimer Act. The Copyright Disclaimer Act under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news, reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Like, share, subscribe.
Do you want to know? Well, I've been thinking about you, and I think I have to listen, because the sun is up, it's a beautiful day. My beginning will be as bright as the sun. Come, won't you come along? And it feels so right, it's like luck is raining on me. Go and follow your heart, doesn't matter how far. There is so much love to give. Something's telling me this time. Baby, baby, now
see this? Now you cannot go.
Baby, baby, gotta go. There is so much love to give. Something's telling me it's right.
Neighbors and the
When you
community
came to me,
compelled to
who are
scour
you?
the area.
It's you, yeah, boy.
Where does the fault lie on you?
Where does the fault lie on you? Hey family, come on in you guys. I got a bone to pick with you guys. First of all, you gotta hit that like button, you guys, and share the live. Do that. Share the live. We're coming in, you guys. You know, I'm gonna tell you right now. You know, you ain't gotta agree with me. You don't. You really don't. You just don't. First of all, I didn't ask you to agree with me. I never asked nobody to agree with me. I'm going to tell it like a TI is. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you want. I'm just telling you. You know, it's like this case of Niah Harris, you guys, is all discombobulated. Okay? And I'm going to share with you my thoughts today. And I'm going to share with you some facts today. And I'm going to tell you, you know, I read the comments, I do. You guys think I don't, but actually I've been doing a lot better than I used to, because we would just come on here and whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. If you had something to say, you was in the chat saying it. And I didn't care who said anything, and I still don't, really. Because for real, you know, coming over here trying to get me all like whatever, yeah, it's crazy. But when I say I know what I'm talking about, I don't care if you in agreement. The wolf don't care what the sheep thinks. I'm just being honest with you. Okay? You may not like the way I present it or bring it or give it to you. But sometimes a person got to do what they got to do, and they got to stop. They got to wait. Shoot, we don't go to the store just because we got money in our pocket and buy bubble gum and Tic Tacs and Fruit Loops or whatever. You know what I'm saying? We're grown over here. We are grown. For real, we are. So, you will get a grown lashing about anything, But one thing over here that you're mad about, that this is not a drama channel. That it is not. I have not yet begun to tell y'all or show you what I need to. But I guarantee you one thing, and I said, and I'll say it again, I guarantee you one thing, you will see what I'm saying is to be true. Or you will see, it be late. You be like, okay, SP, you got that one. OSP, yeah, you was right. What you want, a cookie? You don't have to believe me, honey. When I walk outside, the sky is still blue. You do not have to believe what I got to say. And I'm not fighting about nobody else, nobody's channel. They can say what they want to say on their channel. And like I said, we're going to say the truth over here on this channel. And whenever you get through, I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to argue with an idiot. I'm just not going to do it. Thank you, Miss Didi, for the super chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me give you a good one, girl. Let me give you a good one. I like this one. I don't know why, but I just do. Okay, you guys. Oh, Miss Didi, thank you. You had to, sometimes things have to happen. And so, because I went to sleep because I was tired as heck this morning. And I woke up to all kind of craziness, crazy stuff. So people, you know what I'm saying? I woke up to all kind of crazy stuff. So I'm kind of just, I'm not in my feelings. But sometimes you got to let a person know. And I'm just going to talk to y'all straight. Can I talk to you straight? Put a one in the chat. If I could talk to you straight. Because you got to know who you're really messing with. Sometimes, and I'm just going to say this, you guys. We have been raising this dog from a baby. The dog is hard-headed. Well, Diesel, he's ready to get his rabies shots. And I called the doctor, and the doctor said, well, I guess they thought they muted me, but they said something. And I guess she was talking, I guess the receptionist, see what I'm saying? God let you know what people think about you, your family, your loved ones, or whatever. And so I guess the receptionist thought that she had me on mute or I couldn't hear. And she was saying Diesel's parents is trying to get him in because she wants the quickest appointment because he's stinking and they won't groom him and cut him down because he's got to have his rabies shots. Now, me being a parent, anytime somebody says something negative about Diesel, first of all, he is stinking, and I don't like that. I just don't. But I waited a little bit too late, thought I can get him in, and then bam, they was like, oh, we can't see him until he gets his rabies shots, and then we can't see him 2 days till after because there's something in the rabies shot that they don't want to deal with. They don't want to be responsible. A reaction to the dog. So you got to give them a 48 hours after the shot. That's the only time they will come and tend to the dog. Okay, so the lady at the reception place, she puts me on hold. So she's talking to the I'm gonna make a liar out of a lot of people. She's talking to the doctor or whoever. I don't know who she's talking to. I wasn't there. I was on the phone. And she says, well, we got an opening. And then the doctor says, no. We're not going to see him. He's a big bully. He's a bully. Matter of fact, tell her to, my temperature was like on fleek. I'm like, oh, you think my dog's a big bully when he got beat down at the training session? You guys remember that? You guys remember? People will say what they want to say. Diesel ain't bit nobody. Diesel ain't did nothing but show some love. Now, do he get whoopings? Yes, he do. Because he's hard-headed. But I'm going to tell you something. You know what I'm saying? Those are aggressive dogs, and they were meant to be aggressive dogs. They're meant to do what you tell them to do. Yes, he's hard-headed. But once you get him trained and get him civilized, that beast that's in him, that wolf that's in him, you're going to have a good trained dog. I guarantee you one thing. You ain't going to come stepping up to me aggressive. Because these are going to let you know it ain't happening here. He done already told Papa that. Suge did the same thing. Don't do that. Don't even raise your voice. That's what Suge told Papa. Because we were sitting there playing in the bed and everything. And I was like, ah. And Suge said, he looked at him and he said, rough. I wish you would. That's what he said. And Papa backed off and Papa was like, oh my goodness. But anyway, it hurt my feelings that they said this. And so she came back on the phone and she says, the only opening that we have is next Tuesday, which is this Tuesday. You guys make sure you remind me. The only opening we have is till next Tuesday. So I'm going to have to give Diesel a bath tomorrow in my backyard, which I'll do it. We'll get it done because he just can't walk around here like this. But anyway, and then make sure that you give him his medicine. Okay, do you need some more gabapentin and you need some more trazodone? Because make sure you give him 2 pills before I think it's 2 pills of the gabapentin and one pill of the trazodone the night before he come. And ma'am, that will be Monday night. And then give him two pills 2 hours before y'all get here. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Diesel is the way he is because that's what he is. Okay? We're going to talk about the Niah Harris case, you guys. Okay, first of all, I don't know if you guys know, but let's get off into it. Sometimes I've got to tell you something that's happened just very near, and so you can understand why I think the way I think sometimes. Hey, Sugar Mama, how you doing? Everybody in the chat, thank you guys for coming on in here. Let me tell you, when people start trying to tell you what you are or whatever, or you riding in the bucket, or y'all got a bucket over there and I don't agree, your car don't drive as good as my car or whatever. I'm not worried about it because I got a car. I'm not worried if it leaking oil. If it gets me to A to B, I'm good. I don't have to be seen. I don't have to have the nicest color. Hey, yeah, it is what it is, People gonna, every time, they start real small. And you know what's so funny about it? They play like they know you just because they talked to you one time or something. Or, they gave you directions to the corner store or whatever or something. And then they want to say, well, I disagree. What? Disagree. But over here, you not like us over here. Just like Kendrick said, you not like us. So you can disagree. But what I said was the truth. Anyway, you guys, We're going to talk about Jarvis Butts and why his thoughts is like they are. First of all, I don't know if you guys know this, but when Jarvis was a child, and I'm going to say this, get mad, but it is the truth. And I want you guys to please, if you want to come up on the platform, and let me see if I can put it up there. And I'm not going to pin it right now, but if you want to come up on the platform, you're always welcome to. You always welcome. And but when Jarvis was a child, listen to what I'm going to say before you start tearing me down. Oh, I know what you're going to say. I know what you're going to say, SP. Don't do that. Because you think you heard something somewhere else that this is where you're going to hear from. No, when you hear it over here, that means it's a fact. Okay? You ain't got to believe me, but it is. Like I said, they not like us, and they not going to be like us. So we don't care what, the hand don't tell what where the feet to go. The hand don't tell the feet where to go. Okay? So anyway, let's talk about this young man, Jarvis Butts. I keep wanting to call him Bates. And I hate to say that because I used to date a guy named Jack Bates. And he was something else, But anyway, nevertheless, you guys, yeah, they not like us. They not like us. Huh. They better get it right. Check this out. So Jarvis, when he was young, and I'm going to say a child himself, 13, 14, 15 years old, was dating a grown woman. Y'all said shut the front door. Shut the front door, SP. We going to get into it. We gonna get into it. Yeah. It's the truth. It's the truth. People want to know some things. Is they the truth, SP? It's the truth. He dated a grown woman. Matter of fact, he dated a grown woman that, some people say it was this person, it was that person, or whatever. Anyway, he did. Lisa Calhoun said, shut the front door. Now, could you see when a boy, okay, y'all gets all cry tearful saying, Niah is just a baby, okay? When a boy get molested from a grown woman, is it the same? I didn't hear you say, oh, poor baby, because you're thinking of right now what's done happened. This is the reaction. Everybody say, oh, nah, he knew better. But, okay, because I'm going to tell you something. You don't think the same as girls and boys. You think girls delicate. Girls, they didn't know this and that. Okay. What happens when a boy get essayed by a grown woman? Because he's a boy, he didn't tell nobody. And guess what, you guys? In his mind, this is normal. Exactly. And then check this out. You want the kicker? Do anybody know how to play the game poker? Poker is the best game in the world. If you don't know how to play it, tell somebody to teach you to play it. You can learn how to play poker in 5 minutes. I said degenerate taught me how to play poker in 5 minutes. And I love the game. I don't play it now, but I love it. But one thing about poker is you know nobody really knows what you really got until everything is laid down. And then when you lay that last card down, and we call it the kicker, that means it can change everything. Okay? And somebody may look like they got I don't know what order they go in now, which one is the biggest and better, and that's the only thing you got to learn. But they could have like a full house, you know, and a full house being, you know, a 2-3, and then over a hearts, and a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But I can have like a straight flush, being I can have the king of spade, queen of spade, jack of spade, nine of spade, 10 of spade, whatever, and shut everything down. Okay, that's what we're doing over here. Straight flush. In his mind, it was normal. Yeah, it was normal. And then check this out. So this woman had a full relationship with Jarvis at the age of, he had to be 13 when they got it going on. He had to be 12 or 13 when they was knocking boots. So you know this woman knew what she was doing, okay? And some people gonna say, but it doesn't matter, SP. I'm just telling you the TRUTH. It does matter. This is why you can't fix nothing. This is why you sit back and say, why did this happen? Why does these things happen? Why? How can this monster do this? And people just, I just don't believe it. I just think he did it because he did it. He was born like that. No, he was not. You understand what I'm saying? No, he was not. So, you have this man that's having a full relationship, just like the full relationship that Jarvis had with Niah. In his mind, I told you guys, he's thinking, and I'm just saying, I'm not in his head. He ain't spoke to me. But birds of a feather flock together. You think because that's what you are. You think it's okay. You think it's all right. And not only that, this is going to change some thinking for you guys. This grown woman had a baby by Jarvis. Some of you guys knew that. Some of you guys love to be spoilers. It doesn't matter. Think about what I just said. Okay, because we're talking real right now. We're talking real right now. We're talking real. The woman, the grown woman, had a baby by Jarvis when he was the same age as Niah. Now, I know Niah is missing right now, and we don't know where she at, but, okay, would we would have been out with hold on, would the community in the world hang and crucify this woman for being pregnant by this 13, 14-year-old boy? 13, 14, huh? Will we be over there talking about, you dirty bee, why are you messing with this boy? Because, he thought it was right. I don't care if he told her, I don't care if he told her he was 18, he was 20, or whatever. Women do that all the time. Women do that all the time. You know what they do? They come and they meet the good-looking man, And knowing that, he ain't in high school. He ain't in high school. But see what I'm saying? You see it really nice. She's still nasty too. But when it's a guy, you guys like, it's just a shame, and he knows better, and he's a monster, and he's a pedophile, and this, that, and the other. Y'all don't feel the same way when it happens to a guy. Y'all got no emotion. I heard, look, I got no emotion in the chat. None. So is that his oldest child? No. What you see? Lisa Calhoun, what older child are you talking about? See? Pretty sure that would be his oldest child. But what oldest child are you talking about? See, y'all done went somewhere else. Y'all get distracted. She say, I'm asking questions. It don't make it right neither way. Yeah. Okay. Lisa Calhoun, that's a good question, but you know what I'm saying, baby girl? Got no empathy for what happened to him. Just because it happened to him, SP, doesn't mean it should have happened to somebody else. Do. Well, who was going to stop all of this generational curse? Who was going to do that? All the grown-ups was throwing everything under the rug and hiding everything. They were so busy in their own lives. Think about the time that Jarvis was being raised up. You can understand, like when I was being raised up, what was the problem? What was the epidemic problem in the community? Okay, I'm in my late 50s. So the thing that my parents told us not to ever get involved in was that weed, that marijuana was something else. Like, yeah, that marijuana will have you twisted and make twisted, bent, and all this other stuff. I was scared to death of marijuana. I was. Shoot. My girlfriend be smoking it. They be like, SP is a nerd. She won't touch it. I did a couple of times. I did touch it, but I couldn't do it. But I was so scared of it because, my brother would pass out and my mother be like, oh yeah, he was on that. He was smoking that stuff. That stuff got him going. And them drugs. Matter of fact, the campaign was say no to drugs. The president's wife, what was it, Jimmy Carter's wife, whatever her name was, she would always say, come on there and say, just say no. Just say no. Just say no. People was like, but it makes me feel good. Anyway, not to get off the subject, but back then when Jarvis being in his 40s, his early 40s, 42, it wasn't weed. It was basically the adults were doing crack. See, in every generation, it gets worse and worse. It don't get better. They gonna find something more strong, something more addictive, something more tangible to get their hands on. Because the world tells you, you're not happy in your life. And your friends and people around you say, I don't believe you. That didn't happen to you. You know what I'm saying? So nevertheless, it was crack. I didn't say what kind of crack. I said it was crack. That's what it was. That was the preferable drug that everybody went and got. Yes, Nancy Reagan. Come on, Liz. Liz say that was Nancy Reagan that came up with that slogan. Just say no. Chick, at the time, you just say no. I'm dealing with everything. Y'all better leave me alone. I'm going to do all my friends smoke that stuff. Every last one of them. I was the only one that didn't. I don't know what they was running from. I had a life of my own that I was dealing with. And not too good. Let me tell you guys something. Do you not know whether you a boy or a girl, somebody bedazzling you? They know. Grown folks know when there's a man and a boy in the house. Every woman in here knows when a man walks in the building or when it's a boy walks in the building. You can tell. I don't care how tall he is. I don't care how tall he is. Shoot, the boy say, he just playing with you. You know how many women picks up my son all the time and they be like, oh, he's just a good, nice looking hot chocolate man. And my son is very respectful. He be like, yes, ma'am. And he lays it on thick. He be like, don't let my age fool you. Tuh! I will get in there. You know what I'm saying? Now, he just playing. He just keeping it nice with the woman. But the woman is feeling some kind of way. Because he's got, he can give her youth. So this woman, let's not get too deep, ends up getting pregnant by Jarvis. Or she ended up getting pregnant. Let me say it like this, because it's not the child's fault. If he is the age 13, 14, and 15, and she get pregnant, that's on her. And you know what, Sugar Mama? The funny thing about it was, her name is almost like yours, girl. Sure is. Almost. But anyway, he was a baby. And that spirit, I believe, I'm no God, I'm no genius. But I guarantee you, when you have a relationship with an older person, it changed the dynamics of how you're going to move around. And that, especially when the grown-ups are not in your life like they need to be. I'm thinking, and I can only tell you how I was in this full-grown relationship. See, I was Nazia's age also. Me too. But I left home at the age of 14. I left. My mother didn't come looking for me. She didn't come looking for me. And I was with a grown man. I was 14. This grown man was 28. Let me take that back. Yeah, he was like 28, 26, 28. I don't know. Nevertheless, he way. But you know what? You have to be with somebody grown. That's what I'm saying. You can't be with another kid. I mean, what you gonna get? You can't rent a house. You can't drive. You probably ain't got no car. You ain't got no money. So, of course, a girl, when she wants to get out of a bad situation, or and somebody asked the question, why do you think Naziah said, I want to come and live with you? What the heck? Why would he want another kid? You're the same age as his kid. What, so y'all can play on the phone all day? So what? you can sit there and ask what to eat. Now, he's sitting there thinking to himself, well, shoot, of course I must be doing something right because I can provide. And she, I don't, I got a nice car. She's looking at me like I'm something special. Other women be like, okay, yeah, you got a car. Yeah, you look nice. But this young girl, knowing that, men like to help women in distress. What is Jarvis's thoughts? I'm attracted. I'm attracted to her. I love her. Thank you, Sugar Mama, for the super chat. Thank you, Sugar Mama. Let me give you a straight. She said, I want that twerking chicken.
Dropping them but golden nuggets.
SP News Nuggets. And you guys, we're going to have a lovely time. And if we don't, oh well. Here we go.
I'm known to throw shade.
Now saying Robinson died as the result of a spinal injury.
Well, they told us it was alcohol poison.
Go and terrorize black and brown communities.
Tell me the truth. I won't even get mad. I won't get mad.
Are you sure you ain't gonna get
I'm
mad?
not gonna get mad. Just tell me if you slept with her. Yes, I won't
Are
get
you
mad.
sure you ain't gonna get
I
mad?
won't get mad.
Alright, well, I slept with her.
Come on.
You see, Pooh Bear said, do yours. Do yours. Thank you, Sugar Mama, for the super chat. She said, please. Oh, let me write that down because, oh my goodness, you just remind me some stuff. Let me put it on here. Sugar Mama. She say, let me put you down. 1999. You might as well just say it's 20, girl. And then I know the other day, Tina Simone did her thing. She did her thing. She said, shoot, I'm in the building, SP. And I appreciate you. And I got you down. I did. I made sure you guys had it. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for coming over here supporting us. So back to what we were saying. So the relationship I was in, I had to get an older person. And like I said, me being 14, he was way more than, let me think. Yeah, I think he was 28. He was 28. He was 28. And so they mold you in those. I'm just telling you, not everybody's gonna be the same. And she said, give a ticket to Tina. Got you. Let me put this on here. She said, give one ticket to Tina. All right. So, not everybody's going to think the same. Now, I'm just going to be honest. Had I not went through that in my life, you guys know I've been telling you guys this story 5 years ago. It don't change. It really don't. Did I know what I was doing? I did not know what I was doing. I just was not in a good spot at my home. My auntie died. I had to come back home and stay with my mama. That was not good. And would I sit back and tell people this is happening, that's happening, this happening? No, I would not. Because what are you going to do but sit there and talk about me? That's one thing black women do really well. We love to pull each other down. Huh? Tell me I ain't lying. Instead of, helping, we rather just pull each other down. Now, when you're wrong, you're wrong. I'm just going to be honest with you. When you're wrong, you're wrong. Especially when it comes to these babies. That's when you're supposed to get all crazy and indignant. But it's funny how, you would go off like a clown to another black woman. When, if that, and I'm not, trust and believe, I'm just saying. Because the way we were all raised, you guys. Keep your mouth shut. Don't say nothing. You better not say nothing. Or when a boy dates an older woman, everybody think it's a good thing. She don't know. She just opened up that door to the wildest thoughts in a man. Because a man don't think like a woman think. Y'all, I'm giving y'all a little bit of, you think you know something, but you don't know. You don't know. There's no way. I don't know why it is that men have a problem when they have been SA'd. It's almost like when they go to war or go to the army. It's traumatizing. I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying in their mind, their spirit, they don't see a problem with it. R. Kelly would say, I don't see nothing wrong with a little bump and grind. I don't see nothing wrong. That's why his buddy's in jail. These men and women have been doing this for years. And we'd be like, oh, it's disgusting. Oh, is it disgusting? Because we close our eyes like we don't see it. Okay, let me share something with you. Because everybody's talking about, oh, but she was pregnant. And it's tearing at y'all heart. Do you not know Niah was laying on the floor in a fetal position at school the same day? Begging to see the counselor. No, everybody want to talk about all this other stuff and get all this. No, let's talk about Niah. Ain't nobody called nobody's mama. Ain't nobody called the police. Ain't nobody called the doctor. How in the world did this girl get up not seeing the nurse, the counselor, and get on that bus? You know why? Because, you be like your girl, oh, get your butt up. If a child was in a fetal position at school, maybe she didn't want to go. Maybe that could have stopped it all. Everybody sitting back, oh, is this, oh, is that. Yeah, the prime people that is the problem is Jarvis. But who is the prime person, the number one person that put Jarvis in this girl's gateway, her road, blocked where she was going to go in life? Shannon. Well, I didn't know. You knew something. You knew that this man had a past. I don't care what lie he done told you. Well, okay. Y'all want me to tell you what lie? I don't know if she told y'all. Did she tell you what lie he told her? Did he tell you what lie he told her. See, if you're going to tell it all. And if you're going to tell it where somebody else can't tell it, but somebody else know. You thought, see, that's what I'm saying. I got a problem with Shannon. I got a big problem with Shannon. Because you don't have a problem telling to make somebody else look bad. But you just as bad as Jarvis. Not just as, but as worse. You are. You are. And I'm not trying to drag you down the road. You should have been dragged a long time ago. And I'm saying, and had I known that you doing conniving things that don't make sense, didn't look for this baby. I'm not trying to come after another woman, but it is what it is. And you guys got to remember, get mad at me all you want, but they are not like us. You guys understand what I'm saying? Now, I'm going to tell you something. And you guys, I promise you, you may not say one word while you in this chat right now, but I guarantee you, there's 60 people right here in here. I guarantee you 55 of you know what I'm talking about. But there's a Niah in all of us. And this is why we're mad. Somebody dropped the ball. Somebody wasn't paying attention. Somebody didn't believe. And you're mad. So you see this little girl, and so you want justice for her. Exactly. It happened to Annette. It happened to Shannon. It happened to Marquita. It happened to Kenyatta. Are you not seeing this trend of, it's almost like a copy machine? It happened. It happened. It happened. It happened. Oh, okay. Did you have a relationship with an older person? Did somebody SA you when you was 10, 5, 2, 12? You know, it's embarrassing. So people is not going to be in the chat saying, me too. Me too, SP. Me too. Oh, it happened to me. Somebody touched me. Nobody didn't do nothing. I was scared to say something. I knew they wasn't going to believe this and believe that. Y'all know I'm speaking the truth. Shut up, SP. No, I will not. Because I'm telling you guys the truth. And things like that, it's traumatizing. Whether you a boy, a girl, a dog, a cat, do something like that to somebody and they never know what love is, never was taught that it is supposed to be, when you come and have a sexual relationship, it's supposed to be to bring children in the world. Yeah, but not under those circumstances. Y'all just doing a hucklebuck. And that feeling from that spirit is saying, I want more, I want more, I want more. Yeah, I think I look good. I'm the 14-year-old. I got a grown woman pregnant. She having my baby. Now, he really thinking he done did something. Shoot, I nut all in her. And the grown woman is sitting there buying him bubble gum and tennis shoes and playing music. And he at her house telling his friends, and they all, yeah, man, you got it going on. And she like, you need a phone? What else you need, baby? Go to the corner store, give me some cigarettes. You can come over here and spend the night. Matter of fact, you can stay here on my couch. As long as you giving me that ding-a-ling, you can stay. Yeah. So, would Jarvis think that what he was doing, he was a child and it was brought up to the adults, but they didn't look at it like it was a bad thing. They looked at it like, shoot, Jarvis got it going on over there. Look at him over there handling business. You know, it's all good. Yes, you guys. So he got this baby from this grown woman and endured as being essayed as a young child, because that's what it is. I don't care if you're a man or whatever. It messes with a child's thoughts. That's why we have so many people that, when they go into the other community, the rainbow community, sometimes it's because people have tampered with them. And you guys say, like, no, they wasn't born with these feelings and emotions, but now they feel some kind of way. It's because of what has happened. You don't know how that spirit is going to travel. I'm not saying it's a good thing, bad thing. Some people, that's just the way it is. Some people, they was brought into that community because of that. If I'm lying, you guys, you can get mad all you want. Like I said, I don't care. You can get mad. Say, SB, I just wrote this. SB, I disagree with you. I don't care. Yeah, I'm still riding on that bus. I'm still going where I got to go. Disagree. But I guarantee you one thing. I'm not telling you no lie. You ain't got to believe me. Wait until it happened to your child or your grandchild. Then you're going to remember what I'm saying. First of all, you got to believe in God and Jesus Christ is his son and all those things and everything. Oh, now here she go praying. Here she go talking scripture. Denounce that stuff. Cover your kids, your grandkids, because it's out here. And like I said, it's like a roaring lion. The Bible tells us all about it. Seeking who it can devour. Walking to and fro all the time. That spirit is on people. And it was like, that did feel good. Oh, she made me feel, ooh. She was handling that. I'm daddy. I'm this. I'm that. And then I got the woman pregnant too. And she taking good care of me. And it was the best I ever had. She took my virginity. And every man will tell you, when they get with a woman or girl and they take their virginity, you know what? They never forget that woman. They may forget every 50, woman that they done laid down with. They could have laid down with the best, the smartest, the sweetest, the smell better, whatever. But when they take a girl's virginity and they know it, guess what? That is the number one. Whenever you get through, that's the number one. They're first. That's almost like mama. A man's first love is his mother. She gave him the breast. She laid him across her lap and she rocked him to sleep. And he looked at her big brown eyes and he was just sucking on the bottle and she's just cooing him. And she's like, oh, you're so cute and I love you and I'll change your diapers and everything. And that's his first love. So sometimes, especially, and I'm not trying to get off course, but when your sons grow up and they fall in love with these women and these women be like, your mama makes me sick. You know what? You tripping. I don't get along with my mother-in-law. But that's my husband's first love. But I tell you what, I'm going to stay over here and she could stay over there and we're going to have to get along in a distance relationship. We can't see eye to eye in the same room because we both love that same man. What do you think happens when a boy get SA'd by a grown woman? He done had his first love being his mama. You know, it ain't nothing but women in this man's life now. Check it out. His mama, his grandma, and now here's this grown woman. Here's this grown woman. So, moving forward, that puts a lot of not just pressure, but because he got nothing to offer. He got no job. You know, he hadn't finished school. Just he don't know what to do. You know. Yeah, exactly. His ego has been stroked. So anyway, you know, you got like moving forward, you know, he start looking at these little you guys, I don't give nobody an excuse to do what they do. Wrong is wrong, and I'm not saying it like, okay, you know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, people that is hurts people. And that's the simple math. 2 + 2 is 4. Period. You can't say, oh, that's not the reason SP. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You're going to do one thing or the other. This is what's going to happen. Well, some people is in the chat and they're saying, but SP, it happened to me. Why I'm not like that? You know why you're not like that? I'm going to share this with you. See, some of you guys need to go back to college, go back to school. You know, quit watching this TV and pay attention what the Lord tells you. You're going to go one way or the other. You're going to have to pick who you're going to serve. I'm preaching now. I'm being honest. You're going to have to pick who you're going to serve. You either going to go and serve this evil spirit that never gets full, that will take you to the bottomless pit, or you're going to have to serve God that will cover you, and you're just going to have to deal with it, forgive some people, and move on and help people as you go. Which one you going to do? Which God are you going to serve? Because that's what it comes down to. See, y'all think I don't know. Oh, but I do. Oh, I know. And I'm here just to tell you. Some of you gonna listen. One of you gonna get it. That's all I've got to say. I'm just being honest with you. I'm not dumb, ignorant, or crazy. Don't drink, don't do drugs. None of that. The spirit is just what it is. It is. I'm just telling you. And that spirit runs wild. The Bible tells you it never gets full. You go pick the wrong thing. You be like, and you know when you pick the wrong thing, and it keeps just pulling you in until you're comfortable. You're comfortable. You don't care if it's your kid, Juju kid. You don't care if it's the dog. Touching this and touching that. Looking how they react. Done got caught once. What that teach you? Don't do it like that again. Don't do it like that again. That's all it taught you. Nobody got you no therapy. Let me tell you something that's so funny, you guys. Isn't it really funny that he's a registered offender? He's a registered offender, right? Not even supposed to be around kids. That right there gets you 10. That gets you 5 to 10 right there. Huh. Ain't nobody paying attention. what Shannon said? Shannon said, yeah, he told me. She didn't tell you what he told her. But you know what? I'll tell you what he told her. Hold on. Let me think about it. But she said, I decided to give him a chance. Just like the world gave him a chance. The world didn't give him a chance. Satan gave him a chance. The world gave him a chance. When he gave that little baby that was 4 years old chlamydia, and another child, that lets you know that he needed a lot of therapy. I guarantee he didn't get none while he was in there. You know, like a drunk. A person that drinks or do drugs, in order for them to stop, they just cannot abrupt what they're doing. What has to happen is they go to therapy. They go to AA. They have to go to AA like once a week for years. And you know what they say when they walk in? They be like, "My name is Jimmy Jones, and I'm an alcoholic, and I've been sober for 2 years." Such. They got to keep reminding themselves that it's a thin line between them going back over there doing what they were doing, right? Okay. And then when you have drug addicts, they have to go and they have to go into these cleaning places that sober them up. And I can't remember what they're called, but they got places all over the United States. They go in these rehabs, and they got 30 days that they got to stay in there, no contact with family, people, nothing. And they sit there, and every day they walk, and they got that monkey on their back. They just want it. They want it. They in there fighting. They in there. You got to give them stuff to make them, because they have the shakes. They'll hurt somebody because they ain't got what they want. They sick. They call them they sick. And you know what's so good about that is they put them in these rehabs, and they got to stay there, because if they was out in the world trying to not take the drugs anymore that they are so used to, that their body is saying, I want that they saying, it's making me do it. It ain't making you do it. You're doing it because you want that drug. And just like anything else, these sex acts is like a high. They want that drug. Did anybody give this boy therapy? Nope. So he got some strikes that we know of. First of all, something could have happened to him prior to that. But nevertheless, until you talk to the horse, we don't know. But we do know that this woman, and I said it's a fact. Yes, I did. Take it to the bank. Got pregnated by this child. No therapy. When a child, I would say all the time, here's the thing. I grew up without my real father. So when my girlfriend now would come to me and say, SP, my father, he's sick, and she just crying a river, I'd be looking at her like, girl, okay, and she'd be like, I love him. I said, you don't love him more than you love your mama? She said, yeah, I do. I can't imagine what she's talking about. I don't love no man like that. Never have and probably never will. Because guess what? I was not raised by my father. No, I don't know what a father's love feels like. There's no way I can tell you what it. Some of you guys in here knows what it feels like. I didn't have nobody taking me to the ball, sitting me down, telling me who to date, who not to date. Looking at these little boys, telling them to get away. Telling me how making sure, mama not being too strict and too mean to me, and making sure, yeah. I probably had the same thing you guys had. Somebody in my life that was trying to groom me for the same thing like Niah. But some of us is a little naive, and some of us is like, this ain't, I'm going to tell mama. I'm going to tell mama. But what happens when you tell mama? You tell Grandma Annette. You tell Auntie Shannon. What happens, you guys? Tell me what happens. You guys so smart. I need one person to tell me what happens when you tell. Okay? Y'all know everything. Put it in the chat. Exactly, Lisa Calhoun. Nothing. They either make you look like a liar, they make you look like the problem, and they don't want to have nothing to do with you, because if you said something one time, you might tell it all. Who got a bigger stake in this to lose some stuff? Because Jarvis is going down no matter what. He thought he was only going to do a year. Okay, he thought he was only going to do a year. And then other stuff happened. You guys, we're going to get into a lot of stuff. They not believe the value of these men more than their children, sick people. You got your butt whooped, or you were lying. Hey, come on. Come on, sugar mama. You know what happened. That's what happened. So when people get mad, they be like, dang, I ain't telling that no more. You the problem. You're the problem. You shouldn't be so cute. You shouldn't be so young. And these older women, sometimes they have a right to say what they want to say because you're being a little fast, walking in front of men and flapping and all this other stuff. But sometimes they'll be a little bit harsh and not tell you, hey, I'm not competing against you, but you're going to find yourself in a bad situation if you keep doing what you're doing. The little girl ain't going to want to listen, because guess what? I'm going to tell you once again, the Bible tells you this. Y'all not hearing what I'm saying. The Bible tells you that the child will rear up against the mother. It doesn't say the mother rears up against the child. It says the child will rear up against the mother. Go look it up. I wouldn't lie to you. You know why? Because the child is like, you can't tell me nothing. You just mad because I got some tits. I got some butt. I got this little bitty waist. And he wants what I got. I'm not saying Niah said all that. But a man can get in that head of a woman. And now these other women are feeling like this is a child. And we're going to get in trouble if we say something. When Niah did not come home, Annette didn't go looking, and Shannon did not go looking even the next day. And I'm going to tell you guys something. If you don't know, I'm going to let you know. Okay? Because, it bothers me a little bit why they're giving her a little bit of a, like she did something right. Like, yeah, I turned it in the next day. Okay, you're going to make me call you the B word. Chick, let me tell you what you did. The baby did not come home. You went to sleep. You woke up the next day and all the kids was getting ready. You have another grown woman at the house. Y'all could have been looking, searching, and you should have been up all night, just going down the block, calling everybody, calling the police. Not one time she called the police. She took the kids to school like it was, you know what? Let me tell you something. When stuff hit the fan, I cannot function. Especially when it comes to my baby. I cannot function. Do you know my son, when I was going to nursing school, my son had the bright idea. He come home and he's like, Mama, can I spend the night over Juju's house? And I said, no, you got school tomorrow. And he said, okay. So I went to work and I came home. And I'm sitting there and I'm wondering, it's 5 o'clock in the evening. My child ain't came home. 6 o'clock in the evening, my child ain't came home. 7 o'clock in the evening, my child ain't came home. When it's 10 o'clock in the evening, my child ain't came home. You know what I did? I got in my car and I started going over to his friend's house. Hey, where's Juju? Where's Juju? I don't know. I'm on the phone. I'm calling all Juju's friends' mamas. Hey, have you seen my son? I'm driving down the street. I'm looking. I don't know where he's at. I have no clue. You know what I do next? I wait till like 12 o'clock. My son ain't never not called, came home, or anything. But it's 12. I call the police. Because every county, every state has a curfew. So if the child is walking with somebody, surely if the police see a child, stop them. Pick them up. This grandmother ain't saying nothing. She was like, and then people be like, well, why she gonna act stupid? Even if they asked her the question, well, why you didn't call 911? Well, I kind of figured she was gonna come home. I kind of figured, her brother ran away, months prior. She probably did the same thing. I believe that you can't make a report until they're gone 24 hours. And then people look at her like, yeah, I can see that. Shut up. When it's your child, you don't think like that. You want to tell everybody that want to listen. You want to tell everybody want to listen. Just like that woman that was at the gate and went to the king when they switched the babies. You remember when they were in a drought at the king's gate? The next day, first they made a deal. What they say? Okay, we're in a drought. We got nothing to eat. We're going to die. Okay, you got a child. I got a child. So let's eat your child today, and then we'll eat my child tomorrow. It's in your Bible. Lady said, okay. So they made child stew, and they ate. The next day, the other women went and hid her child. She was like, where's your child? We're ready to eat child stew again. She said, I ain't got no child. She said, the devil is a lie. You ate my child and belly full. What? You done went and hid yours. So she went to the king and she told the king, she kept on walking in front of the king and she was like, this woman did me wrong. This woman did me wrong. And she kept saying it. Every day she would come out there and the king said, you know what? This is why we got to say Naziah's name and keep it out there. This woman, and they said that this king was not a God-fearing king. But the woman said, you got to make this right. You got to make this right. And the king said, she making me look bad. She keeps saying that this is not right. She's making me look bad. So we got to do something. Now, the Bible don't tell you what he does or does not do, but it does tell you that this king was not a God-fearing king, but he was so upset that she kept on stirring the pot, letting people know that something wasn't right and it wasn't fair. And since he was the king, he got to do something. So some of you guys, regardless of where you come from and where you been, stand on the truth and not on the drama. Stand on it. There's some people in here that, you know what, they just want to make havoc. They just want to get a little bit of attention. They do. You know why I don't say nothing bad or negative about other channels? Because they got a job to do. Everything in the Bible tells you how to do everything decent and in order. It does, if you pay attention. Everybody think it's a code. It's not no code. You ain't got to read between the lines. You see it. You should know how to conduct yourself. You know what, you guys? We're going to have exclusive videos. Exclusive interviews on this channel. I promise you that. We are. And I ain't even asked nobody. But I'm telling you, we are. But this channel got to stay with the truth and look at it for what it is. Whether you like what I'm saying or not, Jarvis was a victim also. And so in his weird mind, he thought that relationship was okay. He definitely thought, I guarantee you, he thought this. At least I ain't fooling around with a 4-year-old. Sick? Yes, very sick. And the main thing that's sick that we need to always pay attention to is these people that surround our kids. Huh. But Shannon do got something to now Shannon don't have custody of her kids right now. She don't have custody of her kids. Fact. Now she's gonna have to wonder what's going on with her kids. You know, there was Niah. She was almost the same age as Niah. So Niah being 13, 14. So Niah would be what, 12, 13 right about now. So the process in the history repeats itself. Because now the state has these 5 kids. A brand new baby. What? What's the baby? 1, 2? The youngest 2. The oldest 12. 5 kids. Who got them? Who? Uncle Earl? Grandpa? And I'm gonna tell you something. I'm not gonna ask for an interview from Roxy. I was. Roxy can't tell me nothing. Roxy don't know nothing. I appreciate Roxy though. I appreciate her, and I'm gonna tell you why I appreciate her. First of all, she's not in the circle. It's like when you what I'm trying to say is, like, you have a job to do, right? And you go to a job, and just say for instance somebody, somebody in your family, immediate family, pass away. Now you tell your job, okay, I need to go to the funeral. They say, hey, okay, we'll let you go. I mean, you can go, but we only pay when it's immediate family. Immediate family. So that's like your mama, your daddy, your siblings, your brothers and sisters, your grandma, certain grandmas. Roxy is not in. She may know the dynamics of Shannon somewhat. That's it. That's all she know. So when everybody talking about Roxy said this and Roxy, I appreciate her because, and some people be like, well, she's a scam artist. She's a scammer. She did this for money. Yeah, she probably did. But she got she got her name out there. See, okay, like I'm like this. If I come to you and ask you for a ride and you got a car, I don't care what kind of car it is. It can be a Huckabuck. It can be a Trans Am. It can be a Nissan. It can be a Jag. It can be a Cadillac. It can be a convertible, whatever. I don't care. Long as it's got four wheels and it get me where I gotta go, right? So, their thing is like, okay, well, she, she made some money or she done this. Okay, but did it get you to A to B? Did it get you to A to B? Did it get the child's name out there? Like I said, I ain't got a problem with Roxy, but I don't want to talk to Roxy. Roxy can't tell me nothing because Roxy don't know nothing. All Roxy can tell me is the last time that she seen Niah was when Niah was 2 years old. That's it. That's it. That's all she could tell me. That's all she could tell me. When she's doing interviews, she's struggling to try to put two together. That's why everybody got that information about the traveling in wrong. And it is. Ain't got nothing to do with the traveling in. And I'll say it again. So that's why I tell y'all sometimes, I say, look here, don't come me bringing somebody's content. It's okay to see when you do or something like that. I have to go and look and go, well, we can't speak on that until we know if it's the truth or not. Because you got everybody at the traveling in looking for Niah. Because you heard that they checked in to a motel on Harper. That's how that happened. I'm telling y'all the truth. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all think I'm... Put a 1 in the chat if I'm telling y'all the truth and you hear what I'm saying. I mean, I don't care if you don't believe me. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to yell. But a 1 in the chat if you understand and see what I'm saying. See, we can't get distracted from the truth. Because the truth don't change, you guys. It don't change. Now, when they went in that courtroom, all they said was, Park Crest in. Park Crest in. This time, that time, 2 hours, 5 hours, checked in at 9:30, checked out at 12, such and such, was over here. Nothing about traveling. Now, he could have went to traveling in his past. Why would he not? It's right across the street. Let's go get hooked up. Let's go over there. It's cheap. Yeah. It is what it is. So, sometimes whatever it is to keep people interested, to keep the heat on the police. Sometimes that's why channels do and say what they need to say, because that's how the Lord allowed it to stay set up. So I don't get mad. Don't come over here calling me a liar, because the devil is a lie. Huh. I will not. And I'm going to tell you guys something, okay? And this is something that's been on my mind. When people come out and tell the truth, you guys tear them down. Do you not know, when you look at the video when Jarvis's sister was testifying, she got to testify against her own brother. Look at him. You know, I tell y'all all the time, when God has something for you to do, it is not going to be something you want to do. It is not going to be something you want to do. You sitting there, God used me. He ain't going to use you because he already know what you going to choose. You going to choose your kid, your brother, your mother, your father, your man. You going to believe them instead of believing what God said. That's why when people say, SP, you need to just go ahead and get off the channel and whatever. That ain't what God told me to do. Oh, I don't like what you said. I disagree. So what? God knew what I was going to say before I said it. And he allowed it to happen. So who are you? Matter of fact, he told me to come on every single day and talk about this child. And I don't know which way and which direction he wants me to go, but we're going to do it. You're going to see me pretty much every day. For what reason? I have no clue. I do not think like a God. I'm in this dark room saying, okay, it's a little piece of the puzzle. Where is it at? Why? Is it because it's going to help desire or are we going to find desire? It can be, or guess what? It could be somebody in this room that's got a child that I need to talk to say, get your house in order. Get your house in order. Quit trying to sweep over here. My kids are grown. And I ain't got no granddaughters. And I'm happy about it. I'm so happy. And I still worry about my grandkids, my grandsons. Because it repeats itself. So you know what? When my kids call me and say, Mama, I know you're busy, but can you watch Junior? Yeah. Mama, I know you're on your way to work, but I ain't got no... Can Junior... Come on. Come on. And then I tell my husband, okay, I'm going to work. Let's step up. This is my grandchild. So I don't care what anybody say when I need my husband to step up. Because I don't need a man for nothing. I don't need a man for nothing. I make my own money. I don't need a man for nothing. But sometimes you need a man for covering. That means, guess what? I want somebody around my kids or my grandkids that I know ain't going to touch them. Period. But we'll watch them or take them over here or go pick them up. And all the other stuff is underneath that umbrella. That's why I said, okay, Lord, you're going to bring me a man. Bring me a God-fearing man. I don't care anything else. God-fearing. I would like them tall, though. And got a little something down there. I would. I mean, but I'm not going to worry about all that. Bring me something that can help me navigate in this world. Because all of this stuff is getting worse. It's not getting better out here. It's just not. And I see why. Because when people take the wrong route instead of picking the right route, they, just like Jarvis, like I said, now one person say, poor Jarvis. He was SA. That baby. Nobody in the chat said that. Because they don't see that. They see the results. They see the results of what can happen. But they're not even looking at that. You know what they're looking at? They picking one child over another child. And that's why people do what they do. Instead of getting that person some help. And let me tell you something. I'm going to try to make this call. Oh, I think it's on this phone. Oh, what phone is it on? I don't know. They ain't going to never get no help. Because why would they get help? Shit. Why? Why would they get help? I can't remember what phone I was on. Why would they get help? Shoot. Why would they get help? I think I was on this other phone. Yeah, because I think Sanja Watts said, "Hey, Gloria, I see you in the building. How you doing?" I think Sanja Watts said, "Block the call." That's what she said. So let me go on in here and see if I can see it. Oh, there it is right there. Let me see. I don't care. I don't care. They not like us. Okay. Well, Nay ain't answering today. Nay ain't answering today. Hey, Nay ain't answering today. Hey. So, matter of fact, I'm finna put her name on this, so because I keep, I'm putting Nay ain't answering today. Now we know who it is. I'm a late bloomer, you guys. Shoot, I don't, you know what? I talk to so many people and I reach out to so many people. I have to look at the phone number and look at the last 4 digits to know that's her number. And how many times did I call? I was like, oh, I called that person 4 times. That's her number. I don't care. I really don't care. But, you know, yeah, we got to keep it hard for Niah and awaiting her justice in trial. I think that she's going to get justice for sure. I mean, but what is justice? What does justice look like? I mean, it doesn't bring her back. She don't even have a proper burial, which, I mean, some people think that's a good thing. Or, I mean, what is it to, you know, find somebody to put them in a hole and put dirt over them so you can come and look at the patch where they underneath or whatever. The spirit's not there anyway. I mean, I hate to say it, something like that, but I tell people all the time, like I'm a nurse. I can't sit there and console you and do my job. I'll be crying all the time. You know, I have to close people's eyes and mouths sometimes, and their loved ones is dead. They don't even want to go in there and touch them. And I got to touch these dead people. And they're cold or hard. That's traumatizing. And I'm not even connected to them. They like, could you, this was what? This was what, 2 weeks ago? The nurse said, I can't go in there. I was like, okay, I'll go in there. You come in with me. Because I know they ain't going to jump up or nothing. Or they ain't going to, you know, but just go in there with me. Because, you know, you can stand by the door. Just go in there with me. I got to go in there. Well, actually, you're supposed to go in there and put the teeth in these people, this dead person's mouth, and close their eyes and open up the window. We always open up the window, let the spirit go out. I don't know. I mean, that's just something nurses do. You know what I'm saying? So, because they asked her to do it and she was like, I can't do it. I was like, girl, we got to do it because if the Rica Mortgage sets in, they're going to have to break this family member's jaw. And the family wants to come and visit before the mortuary come and take the body away because they may want it cremated and the body's going to look different. And then, when the body is dead, it looks different after days. The coloring goes out, and all that stuff gets hard as a rock, you guys. When I say hard as a rock, I mean, golly. The body, it gets hard as a rock. It's a scary feeling dealing with dead people. I don't want to ever have to work in the mortuary. But anyway, it's just something about like not forgetting what happened to Niah and I think we all feel like we're letting her down when we can't even recover her body. Now, I'm going to say this because I believe like Jarvis has nothing to lose if he told us where she was at. He has nothing to lose. But being in prison, if he told where her body was at, then people in prison will jump on him more. Because sometimes people say, okay, maybe he didn't do it. Maybe. It's always a maybe out there. I hate when people be like, SP, maybe this. Why you think it's like that? I be like, because I do. Why do you think not? I don't have to prove anything. I ain't got to prove nothing. I'm not trying to get all smart with you. I'm just saying, ask me a question that I can answer. Don't ask me a question you want me to give you my opinion so that we can debate about it. I mean, if that's what you want me to give you, tell me that. But I think we just need to just do better when it comes to Niah, man, because at the end of the day, we all got Niah in us. So we do want justice. And we don't care. And I'm saying this in a fragile way. Like, we have to start teaching now. We got to start teaching now the people that has been afflicted because of people with this spirit of sexual desires to touch and fondle babies or something. Man, get them some help. Get them some help. And quit thinking that, they're going to go in there and tell the therapist and then we all going to be in trouble. Because I know what you're thinking. Trust me, I know what you're thinking. But even if the therapy is like, show them some love. Show people love. Quit attack. Okay, there's some people you can attack. Okay, you have a right. I can't tell you who to attack and who not to attack. I just can't. But don't attack victims. And we're all a part of the victims. Now, some victims, when they go and hurt people like Jarvis, yeah, I get it. I got it. I understand it. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be dealt with. If they're not going to be dealt with on earth, they will be dealt with when it's time for, everybody to meet the maker. You understand what I'm saying? And I prefer to deal with my situation on earth instead of getting in front of the Lord and telling him why I touched a child. Why I put my ping in a child. Because that is not of God. That is the devil himself. I'm just telling y'all the truth. And if you guys don't think it's a spiritual connection, you crazy. You crazy. Just because you say spirit doesn't mean the spirit is good. See, everybody be like, oh, it's a spirit connection. How is that, SP? I said spirit. There's all kind of spirits. You got good spirits, you got bad spirits. You got demonic spirits. You like I said, you got heavenly divine spirits. It's almost like, it goes deep. Just like when you go to liquor store. Look at what it's called. It's called a spirit. You're putting something in your body to make you behave in a way that you would not usually behave. Whether it's get loud, get courageous, because that's what they call it. They call it courage, liquid courage. They say a drunk will tell you the truth. Now you got some courage. You got that spirit in you. That's why they call it spirit. SP. Okay, Tina. Oh, my goodness. I hope you is not going to ask me something crazy. Let me see what you say. Because y'all be getting y'all feelings hurt with me. But, if you want me to tell you the truth, I'm going to tell the truth, and I still love you. But don't get mad at me when you ask me a question and I tell you the truth. Because I tell my kids the truth. I will not tell my kids a lie just to please them. No, I will not. You doing something wrong, I don't believe in that, and you doing something wrong. Now, I'm not the judge and the jury, but you're going to answer that. That is not how you was raised. The end of that, period. Now, take it or leave it. I don't care, and I still love you. But I'm going to tell you the truth. So, Tina says, because this is my girl here. SP, do you think that any more arrests is going to be made besides Jarvis? Oh, girl, you said a good question right there. You know what? It should be. I'm telling you right now, it should be some arrests. But what the rest should be, I'm going to tell you, it ain't Roxy. It ain't Roxy's mama. All that. I don't even know why they arguing and dragging that girl. She just opened up her mouth at the wrong time. And doing it too often. Being on these channels, these YouTubes. She doing too much. But the people that they should arrest or get some time, well, down here we do have a standard of what is good and what is bad. What we require, like a good thing or bad thing. Annette, they need to look more deeper into Annette. Not saying, we don't know if Annette got something to do with this. We don't know if Shannon got it. But I believe Shannon does. And see, when you have if it is true that Shannon does, it's not a fact, but I know for a fact that she done did too much. And if I know, other people know. You feel me? Put a 1 in the chat if you guys heard what I just said. So I know for a fact it will come out. When the rubber meets the road, it will come out. Now, will somebody get accountable for the things that they say and they do? Who knows? Will you have a reason why you say and do things? Who knows? But it ain't as easy, and it didn't go down like everybody think it went down. It didn't go down like, hey, Niah didn't come home. She got off the bus, and things started taking place. And then not only that, she didn't come home that night, and things took place. And then that morning, things were still taking place that next day. And the only thing Shannon can say is, okay, you got two grown adults at that house. Neither one of you guys went and looked for this baby. Not a one of you. Okay, I digress. Because sometimes you would have to think, and I think about this all the time, and this, let's just talk, you guys. She says, I'm not mad with you. Just tell me the truth. There's a guy that comes in here sometimes named Raymond. And, you know, he used to visit back in the day. But not too often, but he came in and sometimes he leave me little messages on the phone. Anyway, he was saying, oh, Jarvis loved that little baby. That's a man perspective. That's a grown man. He's 58. That's a grown man perspective. You have to respect other people's opinion and knowledge. Now, I'm not saying that what he's saying is true. I'm not saying that. But let the man speak. Sometimes when you let people speak, you can feel or understand why they believe what they believe. First of all, he don't think like us because he's a man. So sometimes you got to let the man speak. We got all these women in here and all this estrogen. Let some testosterone speak on the panel. So he said that. And when he said it, I was like, I'm going to tell y'all what I was thinking. Okay, because I'm going to get off of here. But I was thinking to myself, is this ninja crazy? I didn't say it. And he might hear what I said and I don't care. Because we're going to tell the truth over here. And I'm thinking, I was like, he was like, oh no, Jarvis will never hurt that baby. He love her. Yeah, it's sick love. He was telling the truth. I don't know if it's love or lust or it's just a sick, perverted whatever. But when he said it, I can't knock him for saying that because in a sicko mind, they believe their feelings are just as important as everybody else's feelings, right? So, Wayman was telling us how a man in a sick mind could think. Like I said, I'm not saying he was right or wrong, but opinions over here, it's good as gold. His opinion matter. If he believe that, that's cool. Let's hear the man out. You know. I tell you one thing though. If that was true, and you look at that scenario, or you bring it up like that, and say, well, Jarvis was in love with Niah, he would never really hurt Niah, then who had to hurt Niah? If you believe that he wouldn't hurt her. Okay, timeline. Okay, King says they arrived back at the shop around about 8:45. And then they chalked up the money. Niah stayed in the car. And then King said he left. And when he left, Niah was still there. Now, here's the funny thing. The whole hour ride back to Detroit, nobody spoke. They just listened to music, bumping their head. Boom, 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 boom. Was Niah in the car? Was Niah not in the car? Ain't nobody said anything. Ain't nobody said, I got to use the bathroom. Ain't nobody said, pass me the blunt. Ain't nobody said, hey, what we going to eat? Ain't nobody ate all day. Ain't nobody ate all day long. This girl done got out of school at 3 o'clock. Ain't nobody said nothing about where they ate at or what they ate. Ain't nobody ate. It's now 6 hours. That means that girl's last eating was at school at noon. See, you got to think about stuff like that. They had to stop somewhere and get something to eat. Somebody had to talk. No, but King make it seem like, okay, she was at the store when she was getting chips. Chips ain't gonna fill no baby stomach. And Jarvis could have gave her some money. Here you go. When he was in the car, here you go. Get you some chips and some bubble gum and a soda or something or whatever. Go over there to the corner store or something. And she's sitting there smiling or whatever. Okay. That baby did not know that she was in the line of fire of grown folks doing her some harm. She didn't know. She thought she look. She was comfortable in the most weirdest place, a car shop. She didn't feel comfortable at home. That means there's a whole bunch of stuff going on at home, but she felt comfortable with this monster at a car shop. This grown man. A grown man. When a child feels comfortable with a grown man, it's because it's better than at home. Period, point blank. I'm just telling y'all like a T.I. is. Okay? And she's looking for a way out. She actually even says, I'm never going to get out of this hellhole. That's what she say. And she prefer, she want to stay with Jarvis. Let me tell you guys something. See, there's options there. I don't believe Jarvis had to take this little girl out. He got women all around, whether you guys know it or not. I got something to ask Niah. That's why she don't want to answer this phone. Let me try to call her again. Because I'm like a dog with a bone. Niah ain't answering today. Let's go. Niah ain't answering today. Anyway, you guys, I'm going to get off here in a minute, but I'm just telling you guys Jarvis's thoughts. Niah answer if I was Jarvis. She'll answer. She'll answer. Anyway, I'm going to start eating me some baked chicken for like 5 days straight. I'm going to go buy me 5 chickens and I'm going to bake them. I'm not going to bake them all at one time, but you know, I'm going to get some thighs and some chicken legs. I'm gonna get a sheet of thighs and chicken legs, and I'm gonna eat chicken, baked chicken, and salad for a whole week. Cleanse my body, but keep protein in it. Anyway, you guys, that's just a sidebar. Anyway, Jarvis took that baby to the shop, picked her up at 3. They made it to the shop around about 4. They stayed at the shop working on cars until around about 6:30. Headed out the shop at 6:30 to Ypsilanti. 6:38, 7:20, 7:30. They're in Ypsilanti. They're not even in Detroit. They're supposed to be at King's baby's grandma's house, dropping off a car, red Jag, picking up money. They see them traveling back. You know, the woman there say when they got there it was light. When they got there and it was light when it got back. She didn't know if the car pulled up in the driveway, who got out the car first. She don't know who stepped in the house first. All she know is the little girl sat by the TV. And they introduced as his niece. And she had a colorful jacket on. Now, could she just have her information just wrong because she don't want her mama up there on the stand? Because mama don't want to have nothing to do with it. And she said, hey, you guys gonna have to give me a subpoena. I'm not coming unless you guys give me a subpoena. Because I ain't got nothing to do with y'all fools. I'm a grown woman. I got my car fixed and that's all I know. Did they come to your house? She said, I don't know. The grandma probably said, I don't know. And then the police is like, well, you know, that we got them, that they did. Don't make us. And so the young lady said, I'll step up. I was there when they came and all this. They was like, oh, was your mama there at the house? She was like, yeah. And I'm like, well, if mama was there at the house and it was mama's red Jag, why was she not on the stand? And why is it you? It wasn't your car. They asking, did you get your car fixed? It was not your car. It was your mama's car, sweetheart. So when they sit there, oh, that's hearsay. You're hearsay. The girl is hearsay. Let's hear from the grandma that got the car fixed. Was your car at the shop getting fixed? Or what is really going on? And was it a red Jag? What's really going on? Or what's really going on? Because when they take the cadaver dogs and run them around all these vehicles and stuff, they didn't get no hits. Okay, so they're in Ypsilanti and they travel back with all music. Nobody said nothing. Nobody got nothing to eat. Nobody stopped nowhere or nothing. Because King ain't going to say no more than what he has to. So now they travel back. They make it back to Detroit and back to the shop at 8:45. They dibble up the money. They divide up the money. King goes home, allegedly. So he say. And now Jarvis and Niah is allegedly by themselves. Not saying that when he left, Niah was alive already or Niah was already sickened or deceased. Or whatever have you. And something else that Raymond said. He said one thing about King, he will choke a bee out. He do not have a problem when it comes to these women. Let me see. I think my dog is calling me. Diesel love being outside. He just love it. He love it. Okay, so now King leaves. King leaves the shop and Jarvis and Niah is at the shop. Okay, let's think like Jarvis. Is he thinking to kill this girl? Is he thinking to kill her? Because it's now close to 9 o'clock. He checks in to the Park Crest Hotel at 9:30. So from 9 o'clock, leaving the shop, driving, probably getting something to eat, or drive to the Park Crest Inn is probably about a 15-minute drive. Okay? So Niah still have to be alive or already deceased or sick in the car. So he checks in to the Park Crest Inn. So when do he get the car? When do he switch up getting the car from the girl? So he checks in his name and take Niah out? That don't make sense. He checks in his name. He don't go home. He don't take her home. But he calls one of his girlfriends and say, hey, I need your car. And they switch up cars. And the only way they could switch up cars is if it was planned. And we seen the battery cable jump box in the car, in the blue little Nissan or whatever, Sentra, whatever car she got. That's Jarvis's. Women ain't packing that around. So they probably had to jump the car. They had to jump it. Wherever he go, he probably have to jump it to get it to go or whatever. Okay. Was Niah alive? So now you're making moves. So between... That's why I say Niah, him calling Niah at 10:53, he's at the Park Crest Inn. When he called Niah. And he got Niah. Niah is a key person here. Because what she's saying is not adding up. I'm going to try to call her again. I know it just don't make sense. And you know what? I'm going to tell you guys something. She not gonna answer the phone. Because she ain't going to tell. But I'm going to tell you guys something. Here's the thing. Check this out. Niah is not as gullible as you guys think. She's on these YouTube streets and these TikToks and she's listening. She probably listening right now. So if y'all thought she was, no. You cannot tell me you don't know something. He called you in the middle of a crime? He called you in the freaking middle of a crime? And you're going to say, he just wanted to just come over. And then he's at your house at, what is it, 12:30. He calls you back again. And his phone pinged at your address. Oh, he be stalking me. Girl, stalking you for what? I be wanting to go in. Stalking you for what? 108? He at your house. In the place where she lives at. It's not a gated community, but it's one of those tall story apartments where there's probably about 200 apartments, right? And they only have like a front where, a bench where you can sit at. It's right down, the street, nothing but businesses. So, stalking you for what? Talking about he got people in the, but you can't name not one person. He got family in here. He said he got family that lives here. And so you want us to think that while he at your house, he got family living there, but you can't name not one of them. That's what she said. I don't know. I got questions. Like I said, once you have time to think, and then she had time to go and research, oh, I'm going to go get on that channel and see what she's saying. And they said this about me. They said this. And I don't like people bully me. Girl, they have not bullied you. Because the way Kenya getting dragged down these streets, Kenya getting dragged, that's how she should get dragged. Because Kenya don't know nothing. The people that should be getting dragged ain't getting dragged. And the people that's getting dragged don't know nothing. That's just drama. That's clicks and views. I don't get it. I don't understand. The focus is off Niah. But you can ask these people questions like, yeah. And you know the funny thing about it is, she ain't even safe. She thinks she's safe. She ain't safe. You know why? They ain't named her as a witness. So we can talk to her all we want. We don't know if she's a witness or not. All we know is she has a connection. But somebody did a three-way call to call his other baby mama and tell her to clean the car and wipe everything down and all this other stuff, right? So, what naive woman will do that? If you say you didn't know, and you said you don't know what's going on. Okay, I digress. I'm just saying, you guys. Jarvis's thoughts. And now all of a sudden, you won't even answer your phone. See, and then people be like, I didn't know. You know what? You was hiding information about a homicide. Are you ignorant? Why would you do that? I'm feeling some kind of way. I'm hurt. I wanted to have his baby. I get that. I don't know how these women could have thought that they was the one. And I tell y'all the truth. I work a lot of hours. And I'm married. And I don't believe I'm the one. I'm not at home enough to think I'm the one. But whatever it is, it is. I talked to this African girl last night. And I told her, I said, you work a lot of hours. She works 2 jobs. She works back to back. She work a 2 to 8 something like that. She work a 2 to 8 somewhere, and then she comes in and work a 10 to 6. And I said, you don't never get to see your husband. And I said, don't you think he gonna cheat on you? She said, girl, if he gonna cheat, he gonna cheat. I can't sit there and watch what he do. She said, he gonna cheat in front of you if he gonna cheat. She said, if I'm not the one, I'm just not the one. She said, SP. I gotta still go make my money. It's called trust. And if he breaks that trust, we don't have nothing. If we're both trying to get it and put it together, and just because I'm at work and he wants to go lay with somebody, when he got somebody to lay with, he's gonna lay. So I gotta trust him that we're building something together, whether he's at home or I'm at home or what. I'm telling you, Africans got a really good, you know, they better than African American women. African women are better. When I'm saying about, you know, putting things in its position. You know, they work. People be like, oh, nuh-uh, because them women, they let this happen, they let that happen, they come from a place of nothing, so they appreciate everything. Anyway, you guys, I'm just giving you my thoughts. You know, Jarvis, could he been in love with Niah? A sick love. Could it be because of his childhood? Yeah. Not saying that he had terrible upbringing, just saying that some woman got a hold of him and transferred that spirit onto him. Y'all thinking y'all don't know when I'm saying transfer that seducing spirit onto him. And that's why he has no respect for women. That's why he has all these women, and he thinks everything is lolly dolly. It's a game. It's fun. Everybody, you know, he don't have mama's love, and and he's out there in the world trying to learn in the world of all these manipulating child pedophiles, because the woman actually have to be a pedophile to mess with this child that's 13, 14, 15. So Jarvis's thoughts is not going to be the same as a regular child growing up. And we have to get that in our heads, because there's no way you're going to figure out where he could have put this child if you cannot put yourself in this man's shoe. All right, you guys. It's all good. I'm going to get off of here. I want to thank everybody showing up, and especially the ones that gave super chats. Thank you for supporting the channel. Make sure you click subscribe. If you're not part of the family, come on. We're coming on every day. We will be here every day trying to figure this out. Not only just trying to figure it out, you guys, keeping Niah's name out there. So my next video, see, sometimes I even have a problem when I'm trying to make a thumbnail, because I put on this thumbnail Jarvis's thoughts. Let's get it in. Let's get into it. And I thought, okay, God. Sometimes I say, okay, Dad. Okay, Father. Okay, Lord. I didn't put this child's name in the title. And that disturbs me. And I just always, before I come on, I pray that he gives me the choice of words to say, the courage to say it, and the wisdom to know better. Y'all, they not like us.
Hey!